Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome to my channel. In this video I'll show you how to make a butterfly dress with elastic waist. I'm using this chiffon fabric for this dress, but you can use any other fabric like cotton, and I think it would look even nicer in cotton fabric, right? I'm making it for 5-year girl, and you can make it for any age following the same method, just changing your measurements accordingly. And it's a must try dress. It looks really very nice, and let's get started. First of all, we'll fold the fabric lengthwise and then widthwise. So I folded the fabric and I got 4 layers, as you can see. These are 4 layers, right? This is the folded part and the center part of our dress. The top part is also folded and we'll mark over there, right? This is the open side. So first of all, we'll mark for the length of the dress. We'll take the length from shoulder to knees. So whatever is your measurement from shoulder down to the knees, mark at that point. I'm marking at 25 inches, right? So for whatever age you're making this dress, measure the length from shoulder to the knees and mark at your fabric. Make sure to mark at the right side of this dress. I'm marking at wrong side to make all the markings prominent. So I've marked for the full length at 25 inches. Now we'll mark for the neckline. I'm taking 3 inches for neck width and 3 inches for neck depth, right? So whatever is your measurement, you can change your measurement accordingly, and you take the measurement what you normally take in your dress, right? So join these 2 points in a round shape or whatever shape you want. It can be a V shape or whatever, right? We won't draw any shape for front armhole or back armhole. We'll just mark for the length of the armhole. So whatever length you take in your normal dress, mark at that point. I'm marking at 6 inches. Like this. So you can draw a straight line at that point. It should be 6 inches from the top. At this line, we'll mark for the chest. We take 1/4 of the chest in our normal dress. Likewise, we'll mark for 1/4 of the chest in this dress. So whatever is your chest measurement, mark 1/4 of it. I'm marking at 6 inches here. Now we won't mark for any fitting of the dress at the waist. We'll just mark for the length at which we normally take our waist. So it is 10 inches here. I'm marking at 10 inches. And so if you are making it for elder size, it would be 13 or 14 inches as we normally take. So whatever is your length of the waist, mark at that point. But we won't mark for any fitting. We'll make an elastic waist, right? So it should be wider at the waist so it will stretch back to your size. So I have made 5 lines here, parallel to each other, and these are not more than half centimeter apart, less than half centimeter, right? And we'll make 5 stitch lines with elastic thread at this point, right? Now we'll mark for the width of the bottom, and for bottom width you need to know your hip measurement. So normally we take 1/4 of our hip, and for this dress we are making an A-line shape, right? So you need to add 7 to 8 inches to your hip measurement. So it will give an A-line shape to your dress. So whatever is your hip measurement, take 1/4 of it, add 7 to 8 inches to it and mark. I'm marking at 13 inches, adding 7 inches to 1/4 of the normal hip, right? And now from the chest point, draw a line straight at this point at the bottom where we just marked, and this will be the only part which will be stitched at the side. No stitching at the armhole or shoulder or for the sleeves. Just this would be the stitch line right at the side. Now we'll give a 2-inch slope at the bottom. For this we'll mark at 2 inches at this point here, and we'll give a slope at this point. So the bottom won't be straight, it would be in a slight curve shape. Now we'll mark for the sleeves, but for the sleeves we won't measure from the shoulder bone to the full length of the sleeve, but we'll mark from the center back of our neck to the length of the sleeve we want to take, right? So for this, I'll show you how you can take your sleeve length. We won't put our measuring tape on this shoulder point we normally do, but we'll put the measuring tape at the center back here and measure the length of the sleeve you want to take. 3/4 sleeve length is sufficient for this dress. So I'll note this measurement. It's 16 inches in my case. So we'll mark from the center point to 16 inches here. The folded side is the center part of our dress, right? So we'll mark from there to 16 inches here for the sleeve length. And now we'll join this point to the bottom we marked in a slight curve shape. As you can see here, we won't join them straight, okay? So it's a slight curve shape. Now we'll cut at this point. So we have cut the fabric at this point and the neckline for both front and the back. Now we'll open the fabric because we got a mark at the other side as well and the back part. But before opening the fabric, you make sure that you mark all the sides, all the folded sides. You can mark with a chalk or you can press it very hard, very nicely, so all the folded sides are marked, right? So I've marked these 5 stitch lines at the other side and the back part as well, as you can see here, right? It's very important. And this is the center and the folded sides, all the folded sides at the shoulder and the center front and center back I marked with pressing very hard, right? It's very important, otherwise you will lose the center parts and the folded parts, so it will be difficult to figure out later on, right? It's important. Now we'll finish the neckline and then after that we'll hem the edges. For finishing the neckline, I have attached a strip of fabric at the right side. Now we'll fold it at the wrong side and our neck would be nicely finished. As you can see here, I folded the strip of fabric at the wrong side, and I also made a 4-inch slit at the center back. Now we'll hem the sides. So we'll simply fold the fabric twice and stitch all the way around the sides, right? So I have hemmed the sides. As you can see here, this is how it looks. Make sure that you don't stretch the fabric while stitching, otherwise it will get a wavy look and it won't look nicer, right? So I have hemmed the sides. Now we'll get the waist part done, and I told you earlier that make sure to mark all the 5 stitch lines at the waist point on the right side of the dress. I marked at wrong side, so to make it more prominent to you, right? Actually this is because the right side of the dress would be facing us when we'll make these stitch lines, okay? I'll show you. So for this, we'll wind the elastic thread in the bobbin and insert the bobbin in the bobbin case, but we'll slightly loosen the bobbin case a little bit. Otherwise we'll stitch it in the normal way. We'll just loosen it very slightly because the elastic thread is thicker than the normal thread. Now we'll insert the bobbin case as we normally do, and at the top we'll use the normal thread. We'll just use the elastic thread in the bobbin. So now we'll make the 5 stitch lines here, and the right side of the fabric would be facing us, so the normal thread is visible at the right side and the elastic thread would be at the wrong side of the dress. It won't be visible from the right side. So that's why I asked you to make stitch lines at the right side, so they are visible here now and you can make the stitch lines easily. Don't stretch the fabric from the front. We are stretching at the back, as you can see, while stitching. So I have made 1 stitch line and now I show you how it looks. So this is the elastic waist line. So it is stretching like this. I have made 5 stitch lines in the same way on all these lines we marked at the front and the back as well. So now simply we will stitch at the sides, and I told you from the chest down to the bottom we drew a line, and we'll stitch at these lines and the right side of the dress would be facing us. We'll stitch at the right side, right? And this is the final look of the dress. I hope you would like the video. Thumbs up if you do like the video, and make sure to subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel yet. And thank you so much for watching.